The date is 4/30/2021, interview ID BM2. So I want to start by getting a general idea of your experiences with prescription medications and what you think about them. So can you tell me a little bit about the medications you're taking now?
I'm taking the anti-rejection medicine for my kidney transplant.
Okay.
Go ahead.
Go ahead. Any other medications?
And I'm taking blood pressure medicine.
Okay. So total, how many prescription medications are you taking now?
Total 6.
6. Okay. And so 5 of those are transplant and 1 of them is the blood pressure?
Yes. 5 is yes, exactly.
Okay.
Exactly.
Okay. And so thinking about your transplant medications, those 5 transplant medications, those you have to take usually every day, multiple times a day for them to do what they're supposed to do. How does that impact you?
It doesn't impact me.
It doesn't?
At all.
Okay.
No, it doesn't.
Okay. And so thinking about all of your medications now, all 6, do you have any concerns about any of them?
One of the blood pressure medicine, sometimes concern is that it has the side effects of it. That's the only thing.
Okay, and what kind of side effects are you talking about?
I'm talking about when you deal with those beta blockers, sometimes they have demonstrate like sexual side effects.
I see. Okay, thanks for sharing that with me. I appreciate that. Okay. And is that something that you've spoken with your doctor or nurse about?
Yeah, I did talk to them, and they prescribed a different one.
Oh, okay. So have you started taking that different one yet?
Yes, I have.
Okay. And is that changing things at all? Is that improving the side effect?
Yeah, it's improving.
Okay.
It is improving.
Okay. So when you spoke with the doctor or nurse about that, was that your primary care doctor that you spoke to?
No, my nephrologist.
Your nephrologist. Okay. And so you spoke with your nephrologist, and was he or she pretty quick about addressing the issue and switching you to the other medication?
Yes.
Okay, so no problems with any of that?
No problem.
Okay, so I'm glad to hear that side effect isn't really a problem anymore. Or maybe it's less of a problem than it was with the original medication.
Right.
Are there any other side effects that you've experienced in the past or that you're experiencing now?
I noticed because I take I get once a month I get a injection, and I notice sometimes I have it takes me a while to remember something.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so it kind of fogs up your memory a little bit, it sounds like?
Yeah, it kind of fogs the memory, yeah.
Okay, and do you know what this injection is for?
Yeah, it's for a kidney transplant.
Okay,
It's called Belatacept.
Belatacept? Okay.
Uh-huh.
And you get that once a month, every month?
Yeah, once a month.
Okay, and is that something that you have to go to the clinic to get, or do they mail that to you?
Oh, no, I have to go to the clinic to get it.
Okay, so you have to go to the clinic to get it, so you get it once a month, and you feel like every time you get it, it takes you maybe a couple days to get back to where you don't have that fogginess anymore?
Exactly.
Okay, got it, okay. And so when you kind of have that fogginess after getting the Belatacept, does that ever make it hard for you to kind of keep track of or take your other medications on those days?
No, it doesn't.
It doesn't. Okay. All right. And so did you have any experiences with prescription medications before the transplant?
Yes, I had, yes, I was taking a blood pressure medicine before.
Okay, just the blood pressure medication?
Yes.
Okay, so just one prescription, it sounds like.
Yeah, right.
Okay, and so now you're on 6. Right after the transplant, how many, were you taking more than 6 medications?
Yeah, I was taking more than 6.
Okay.
I've taken at least another 3 more.
Okay.
There's some medicine they want you to take for a short period.
Okay. And so you jumped to maybe about 9 right after the transplant?
Yes.
Okay. And what was that kind of shift for you like, going from 1 medication to all of a sudden 9 after the transplant?
Well, actually a financial shift. You have to plan for that. And, it takes a little more time out of your day, but it's not, that would be it.
Okay. And when you say financial shift, can you tell me a little bit more about that?
Well, yeah, the medicine, I think at one time I was spending like almost $100 a month due to my insurance. I was on medication.
Okay. And so that's something that I want to come back to. So before I do that, I want to go back to, again, just sort of your day-to-day with the medications.
Okay.
Thinking about all the medications you take now, all 6, how do you remember when and how to take each medication every day?
I keep them in a little container box. And so I know where my medicine is. As far as remembering the time, I set my phone, for 8:30 in the morning, 8:30 at night, just in case to help me remember. But I always remember before. It's just that sometimes you can get busy and you forget.
Right.
So that's why I keep that 8:30 buzzer on.
Okay.
Every day.
Okay, so it sounds like you have a pill box. Is that one of those daily pill boxes or weekly pill boxes?
No, I keep them in the actual package that they come in.
Oh.
But I have a bigger box, like one of those little boxes you may use for putting knickknacks to kind of organize your space in your kitchen. So I have one of those little boxes.
Okay. And do you you keep your pills in the bottles that they come in? Do you kind of keep the bottles in any specific order, or are they just in there in whichever way?
Oh, they're just in there. They're just in.
Okay. Hello, can you still hear me? Hello?
Now.
I'm sorry. I think I missed you for just 1 second. You cut out for a second. So you had said that they're kind of in any order.
Yeah, any order. When I first started, I did have it in a particular order, but now it's just any order.
So is there anything else that you do other than setting the alarms to help remind yourself about the medications?
No, that's it.
That's it. Okay. And does anyone help you either organize your medications or help you remember to take them?
My wife.
Okay.
She sometimes
Okay,
she
and
doesn't see me take it. She asks me, "Did I take it?"
Okay, so she kind of makes sure, she checks in and makes sure that you took it when you were supposed to.
Right.
Okay. Okay. And you said that you were doing things a little differently in the beginning, like you were organizing your medications a little differently, I guess, to keep track of them. Was that you were keeping the bottles in the order that you had to take them? Is that what you had said?
Yeah. So I used to keep them, I kept the anti-rejection medicine, because they have to be taken, twice a day.
Mm-hmm.
But so the medicine I had to take twice a day, I kept in one pile. But the medicine I took once a day, I kept it in another row.
Okay. Is there anything else that you did differently then versus now?
No, it's no different.
Okay. Okay. And do you do anything differently for one type of medication versus another? So I know you just have the transplant meds and the blood pressure medication. Do you do anything differently for one versus the other to remember when and how to take them?
No.
Okay.
No, I don't.
So now it's all the same.
Yeah, it's all the same.
Okay. So, thinking hypothetically, in a perfect world, what would make it easier for you to take your medications?
Make it easier if I could take it once a day.
Mm-hmm.
It would be easier.
Mm-hmm. And why do you say that?
Well, because then you can do it when you first get up or when you go to bed.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Okay. So, is that ever anything that you've spoken with your doctors or nurses about?
No, I did not.
Okay. Is there anything else that you can think of that would make it easier for you? Either, again, to get your meds, to manage them, to take them?
If when you're dealing with the pharmacy, when you're dealing with insurance,
Mm-hmm.
some medicine they require you to get from the mail order,
Mm-hmm.
and some medicine they require you to get at the local retail level.
Mm-hmm.
So, so that would be one. That would be one thing.
So it sounds like you're saying the fact that you have to get your medications from different places can be kind of difficult sometimes.
Yeah, because CVS may have a different price than Costco.
Oh, I see.
Or they may say, well, you have to get this medicine only from our mail order.
Mm-hmm. Okay. And so your transplant medications, where do those usually come from? Or do those kind of flip between the locations also?
Those come from the local retail.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Because they only want to approve 30 days at a time.
Okay. And then the mail order, what do you get by the mail order?
The mail order, I get blood pressure medicine.
Okay. And so you said that for the transplant medications, you get a 30-day supply each time?
Yeah.
Okay.
For some reason, they wanted me to get the 30-day supply when I first started.
Uh-huh.
Now, I may have to check back with them now and see if I can get a 90-day supply.
Okay.
But when I first started, they were only giving me a 30-day supply.
And that's kind of held over. That's still what's happening now.
Yes. I just never went back to discuss getting a different
number of pills.
Getting a different way.
Yeah. Okay. And is there a reason why you haven't kind of talked to anyone about that yet?
Just busy with work.
Mm-hmm.
That's it.
Okay. And is there anything else that you can think of that would make it easier?
That would be it.
Okay. So let me now kind of ask you the flip side of things. What do you think makes it harder for you to take your medications? Is there anything specific that comes to mind off the top of your head?
That makes it harder?
Mm-hmm.
Nothing off the top of my head I could think of.
Okay, so let me give some examples. So for some people, time is an issue. So for example, if they're busy at work, if they're running errands, whatever it might be, time is a problem for them in terms of being able to get to their meds when they need to or take them how they need to. Is that ever an issue for you?
No, I normally plan ahead.
Mm-hmm.
I normally bring my medicine when I think I may run late.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Or if I need to leave earlier, then I normally take my medicine.
Okay.
I'll just take. So I guess that would be an inconvenience, slightly. But
do you mean the fact that you have to time it in a certain way is an inconvenience?
yes,
okay.
Exactly.
Okay, I see.
Now that I think about it, yeah.
Okay, so you mean the fact that you have to take it, every 12 hours at 8 a.m. and 8 p.m. kind of thing?
Right.
Okay.
Exactly.
Okay. And when you say inconvenient, do you mean inconvenient in terms of work or in terms of something else?
in terms of work.
Okay. And can you tell me a little bit about kind of the work that you do and the hours and how that might affect your medication schedule?
Well, I work 9 to 6.
Uh-huh.
And I'm working from home now mostly.
Oh, okay.
So the days I have to go to work, which is only maybe once or twice a week, I may have to, I may have to plan for that.
Okay. And so those days that you have to go in person, are those the same days every week, or does that change?
Oh, that could change.
That changes. Okay.
Yeah.
And so it sounds like there's, on those days, whatever days you end up going, you have to plan a little bit. Do you take your medications with you, or do you just take them at different times?
Oh, I take them with me.
You take them with you. Okay. And so you take them at work?
Yeah, I'll take them at work.
Okay.
Exactly.
Okay. And is that ever an issue in any way where you are not able to take them at work for some reason or another?
No.
Okay.
That's never an issue.
Okay. So you always take them with you. You always take them at work. It just sounds like that the day that you're going in person tends to fluctuate depending on the week. So there's that kind of unpredictability to it.
Exactly.
Okay. And then, cost can be an issue for some people. So the cost of the copays of the medications, or if they have to pay out of pocket. Is that ever a problem for you? I know you mentioned something earlier about how initially cost was a bit tough because you're paying about $100 out of pocket every month. What is it like now?
Now it's like now it's cheaper. I think comes out to about $30 or $40 a month now.
Okay. And so, is there ever a point at which the cost made it hard for you to get your medications?
No.
No. Okay. And so it sounds like over time the cost has decreased. And then you said something interesting about the fact that depending on where you get your medications from, so if it's mail order or Costco or the local pharmacy, that the cost kind of depends on where you're getting it from.
Yes, exactly.
So what's that like? What's kind of the range of cost that you're paying depending on where you're getting it from?
Well, Costco sometimes can be a little cheaper. Like, for instance, with the water pill, it may cost me $30, $36 or something like that at Walgreens. But Costco, it'll be, $15.
And is that something that you've spoken with your insurance company about, or maybe the pharmacy about?
No, I haven't.
Okay.
I'll look and see which one is cheaper.
Yeah. And so do you have a choice when it comes to where you get these medications filled, or is that not up to you?
Yeah, I have a choice.
You do? Okay.
Unless they say you have to get it from the mail order, then I have to get it there. But I do have a choice. You
do have a choice. Okay. And so you said the blood pressure medication was the only one that you were getting by mail order?
Yeah, so it changed. Now the blood pressure is the only one. And I'm able to get the other medicines at Costco, and then I get my anti-rejection at Walgreens. Okay,
but initially, were they all coming by mail order?
No. Initially, they were all retail.
They were all retail. Okay.
Yeah.
And so it sounds like maybe the reason why the price was so much higher in the beginning is because you had more medications to get.
Right.
And now that's kind of leveled off. You have fewer medications.
Exactly.
Okay.
And then also, once you meet a deductible, then the medication gets cheaper, right?
Right, right.
So it's that too.
Is it ever a problem for you to meet that deductible?
Not a problem, but it can be an inconvenience.
Inconvenience in what way?
Financially, it could be an inconvenience financially.
Okay. So you kind of pay out of pocket until you hit that deductible, and then your medications are covered?
No, you just pay a higher percentage of the cost.
Of the copay?
And then once you meet your deductible, your medicine some of the medicine may end up being free, or maybe even like $1 or 60 cents or something like that.
So those times when you're paying the higher percentages to meet the deductible, is that ever an issue for you?
No, it's not an issue.
Okay. And so what's your insurance coverage like, if I can ask?
Right now I have the insurance from Medicare that I carry, because I have to till the 30s for 3 years, and then I have the insurance from my job.
Okay. And what kind of insurance do you have through your job?
It's commercial insurance. It's Blue Cross Blue Shield.
Okay.
PPO.
Okay. And have you had this insurance I'm assuming you had the Blue Cross Blue Shield before you had the transplant through work, and then you got the Medicare. Did you get the Medicare after the transplant?
Yeah, so what happened was I had the... Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
I had the commercial insurance with my job, and then I also carried the other.
Okay.
The Medicare.
Got it. Okay. And you say that you have the Medicare for 3 years after the transplant. Is that what you said?
Right.
Okay. And do you ever have any issues with getting your prescriptions filled, or is that never a problem for you, really?
Oh, it's never a problem.
Okay, great. Okay. So sometimes having other health problems to manage, or just not feeling well overall, can make it harder to take medications the way that you're supposed to. Is that ever a problem for you?
No.
Okay. And then for some people, mood can affect how they take their medications or whether they take them. Is that ever a problem for you?
No,
Okay.
It's never a problem.
Anything else you can think of that, again, sometimes makes it harder for you to take any of your medications?
Yeah, well, before I got this job, I was working mostly nights, and sometimes if I work later, work until the morning, I would have to, if I fall asleep, I have to get up to take the medicine.
I see. Okay. So when you were working nights in the previous job, that would kind of throw off your schedule, and it sounds like you would have to wake up at some point to take the medications.
Right.
And then now you have this new job, and it sounds like the hours are easier to work with. It's just those fluctuating days.
Exactly.
Okay. Anything else that you can think of?
No, that's all.
Okay, so maybe this requires thinking back a little bit, but when you have to take a new medication, how do you learn about it? So who tells you what you need to know about it? Can you walk me through that process?
Well, the doctor would recommend, and they would kind of discuss the purpose of it, right? And then, I'll ask them questions about it. Side effects is probably the first question, and then after they prescribe it, I'll check, I'd Google search the medicine to see, any reviews on it, things like that. Okay. So that's kind of like the way I would do it.
The way you do it. Okay, so it sounds like they whichever doctor prescribes it for you They tell you a little about it. You ask them questions, especially about the side effects. And then after you have the medication, you go online to do some additional research just to learn more about it.
Right.
Okay. So then the most recent time that you did start taking a new medication, did you feel like you knew enough about it to be able to take it according to the doctor's instructions?
Yeah, I think I knew enough about it, yeah.
It sounds like you...
When I say I knew enough, I mean after they would give me how to take it. I understood that way. But then I would still, go and research it.
Okay.
To make sure I really understand it, yeah.
Okay. It sounds like you hesitated a little bit, so I was just wondering about that. Okay. So thinking now a little bit more generally, what do you do if you have problems or questions about a medication?
I normally call in and speak to the nurse, or in case of my chart, I may send a message to the doctor and get a response back, in a few days.
Okay, so it looks like you use both. You both call and you use the online portal. It sounds like.
Right.
Okay, and when you do kind of ask those questions, when you either call or send a message, do you usually get a response back in good time?
Yeah, I normally get a response back.
Okay, and how long does it usually take for you to get that response back?
Normally in a couple days.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
And have you ever needed a response faster than that but did not get it?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Can you tell me?
Not with the transplant, but with the transplant people, you pretty much get somebody to call you back right away.
Okay.
But when it comes to I was taking a medicine for gout. Sometimes it would take a while to get a response back from the doctor.
Okay, and which doctor was this? Is this your primary care doctor?
No, this is a specialist, a rheumatologist.
Okay. And so in that case, when you were taking that medication, were you specifically asking the doctor questions about the medication?
Yeah.
Okay.
Exactly.
And so it sounds like you didn't really get a response back in good time. So what did you do about the medication? Did you stop taking it? Did you...
No, I continued to take it, but I still asked about it once they called.
Okay.
Or emailed me. Yeah.
Okay, so out of just so that I know, what was the question that you had about that medication?
I was more, the side effects, and I was thinking, I was still having pain even though I was taking the medicine. So that was my question. Like, is this really working?
Okay. And so, in general, how would you say your communication is with your doctors and your nurses?
In general, I think it's good.
Okay. Anything kind of specific that you can tell me about your, I guess, about sort of the quality of your communication with them? Whether, again, you get your questions answered and whether you feel comfortable communicating with them?
Yeah, I feel comfortable communicating. I don't have a problem with it.
Okay. Okay. And so knowing what you know now after going through the transplant, what advice would you give someone who's about to get a kidney transplant about taking their medications?
First is I would try to take as less medication as possible. Get it down to the do whatever it takes to get it down to the main medicine for the transplant.
Mm-hmm.
I wouldn't take any additional blood pressure medicines and things like that.
Mm-hmm.
The next thing is the steroid.
Mm-hmm.
I would probably ask for if there's any alternatives to taking that steroid, because the steroid can make it difficult to lose weight sometimes.
Okay, so the steroid comes with its own side effects like weight gain. And you said something interesting about asking if there are any alternatives to it.
Yes.
Is that a conversation you had with your doctors or nurses?
Not yet, but I was thinking about asking about that because I have been having a problem with getting my weight down.
Mm-hmm.
So I was gonna find out if there's a different, instead of taking the prednisone, maybe there's another one that is recommended, or that may work.
Okay. And anything else that you would advise? Any other advice you have?
I would check the prices to find out if I would check the prices of the pharmacy. Mm-hmm. Using and I would also use that coupon, the medication coupon. I can't think of the name now.
GoodRx.
GoodRx. GoodRx. That's it. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I would definitely check that too.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes that's actually cheaper than your insurance.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. So you said checking the prices of medications. Is that something that you would have wanted help with in the beginning, at least?
Yeah, it would help. It would have been helpful to kind of understand it. Understand that all the the places have different prices. I mean, it's obvious they have different prices, but they have different agreements with the insurance company, so that you have to pay more. One pharmacy may not be a preferred pharmacist with your insurance company. Mm-hmm. Things like that.
Okay. And did you ever talk to a social worker at any point to kind of navigate any of this stuff?
Yeah, I did. I did speak to a social worker. It gave me some good information. But once you start doing something, you kind of realize, you have other questions.
Okay. And is the social worker somebody that you could go to with questions if you needed to?
Yeah, I can always call if I need to speak to a social worker.
Okay.
They normally get back with you in a few days, I guess.
Okay. And in terms of the advice question again, what about talking to doctors and nurses about medications? What advice would you give someone about that?
I would, find out about the side effects first. And if the side effects are not something you can deal with, get an alternative.
Okay. So the side effects, it sounds like that is a conversation that comes up when you ask the questions.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay. Is that ever something that kind of comes up on its own when you're talking about a medication to a doctor or nurse?
No.
Okay. So it sounds like you're saying the most important thing to bring up would be what the possible side effects are, and if the side effects are going to be a problem, to find out if there's an alternative medication.
Exactly.
Okay. Any other advice you would give about communicating with doctors or nurses?
No, not now, I don't think.
Okay. And last kind of question, another hypothetical. If you were running the clinic, what changes would you make to help patients take their medications? Or put another way, what can they do better to help you take your medications?
What, the doctor?
Yeah, or anybody in the clinic for that matter. Yeah.
Oh, that's a good question. What could they do better? I guess I don't know. I'm at draw a blank. What could they do better?
Well, thinking about it from your perspective, just you personally, what do you feel like you might want or need to be better supported?
I would probably, if it was easier to ask a question. Now you have to call in and speak to someone, and then eventually someone calls you back. So I guess the access would probably be if I had better access to the doctor or the nurse.
And is that the transplant doctor nurse that you're talking about?
Transplant, and also my own nephrologist too.
Okay. And can you tell me a little bit about that? So you say both the transplant doctor and nurses and your regular outside nephrologist. So it sounds like you're saying that the way to get your questions answered is that you call or you send a message and then you wait for a response.
Yeah, you call, you get a message. I mean, you have to wait for the response. Now, sometimes the response comes quick. But with Northwestern, sometimes the nurse will give you a call back the same day. But I have noticed with my own nephrologist that it would take a couple days or so.
And so, did you at some point feel like you had better access and that changed, or was this always something that you felt was an issue?
I think I had better access when I was on dialysis. Now, it's I would say it's changed now that you have the transplant, and especially because when you first get the transplant, you're seeing the doctor maybe once or twice a week. But now you really only really speak to the doctor once a year now with the transplant doctor. Okay. Unless you send a message.
Okay. And so okay, got it. So initially, right after the transplant, it sounds like you were connecting with the transplant providers once a week, and over time that's shifted, and now it's once a year, it sounds like?
Yeah, like once a year when you actually see the transplant doctor.
Okay. And is that something that you would how do you feel about that, I guess I should ask?
I mean, I wish it was better. I wish you would either speak to the transplant doctor, or a nurse every couple months or so. They can let you know if there's any changes in treatment that they're noticing from other people, that maybe you need to do this better to make your kidneys last longer. I just wish it was more of how can I help out, and how can I make my kidney last as long as possible.
Okay. So kind of, again, having sort of check-ins periodically at set times throughout the year. You said every couple of months, just to see how things are going, to check in about your meds, to maybe give you some guidance on what you could do better or differently to maintain your health.
Right.
Yeah. Okay, that's interesting. Okay, thank you. Anything else you can think of that you'd want to share with me? That was the last question I had.
No, that would probably be it.
Okay. Well, thank you so much. I'm going to stop the recording now so that we can just